my fellow comic book collectors, it's Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, and these are the hottest Golden Age comics of the week. Just really cool books. Really great week, actually. Golden Age still performing well, actually. This is a pretty strong week. Number 10 on the list is Strange Adventures number 18. This is from DC Comics 1952. It's a Murphy Anderson cover. And it's a great sci-fi cover. You got some bit of Good Girl. You got Captain Comet on the cover. Just a nice, sci-fi comic cover. This was 4.0 that sold, and it sold for $165. And that's a pretty strong sale. The previous record for this book was $135. Not an expensive book, just a nice, affordable Golden Age book. So there are 46 of these on the census, and 42 of them are Universal Blue Labels. Number 9 on the list is Wings Comics number 90. This is from Fiction House 1948. It's a Bob Lubers cover, and it's a classic Good Girl art cover. This is one that a lot of Good Girl art collectors go after because it's a great bondage cover. And if you look at the way the girl's legs are tied, she is tied to an airplane that's taking off. Just a really great Woman in Peril cover, too. Just a classic cover. And this was a 3.5 that sold, and it sold for $700. Actually, $699.99, but I'm saying $700. The previous record for this book was set back in April of 2019 for $650. So it's up slightly from that previous record, but still a strong sale. Good price for this book. There are 89 of these on the census, and 88 of them are Universal Blue Labels. Number 8 on the list is Batman number 66. My writing is horrible. It's like looking at my writing here. It's like really mangled. Batman 66 though. This is DC Comics 1951. It's a Dick Sprang cover, and it's also Charles Paris also worked on it. This is the boner issue. It's the comedy of errors, actually, but in it there's so much crazy stuff. It's like the word boner is used like repeatedly through the comic, and there's even a thing where I think Joker is reading some headline, and he's like, "Oh, Batman, he won't laugh at he won't laugh at my boner again," or something really crazy like that. It's just like, okay. So very, very weird. I think they knew what it meant at the time. I think this was like a deliberate silliness. This was a 3.5 that sold, and it sold for $780. This is a reasonable sale. The previous record for it was set back in October of 2021 for $749. So strong sale. There are 256 of these on the census, and 237 of them are Universal Blue Labels. Number 7 on the list is Captain Marvel Adventures number 18. This is from Fawcett 1942. It's a CC Beck cover, and it is the origin and first appearance of Mary Marvel and the Marvel family. So a very important key, and it's also a painted cover, so it's very desirable. It's great that it has Mary Marvel on the cover, and this one is actually a pretty hard book to get complete. Now, on the back cover of this book are these like Fawcett cards, and they would have different characters like Spy Master and Captain Marvel, and different characters that people would often cut out. So a lot of these books, when you find them, the back cover is missing those cards. So this was a complete copy that sold, and it was a 3.0, and it sold for $1,678. Now, it is important to note that this book actually had brittle pages, which generally brings down the price. So that's something I just had to mention because you'll see why. The previous record for this book was set back in December of 2021 for $2,800. Now, there was a reason why it had this massive sale back then. That was actually a pretty high sale, even compared to this current sale. It was sold on Comic Connect, and this was around like kind of the COVID hype where certain things were getting hyped up, and there was the Shazam movies coming out, and Mary Marvel was a key character in Shazam, and so this book kind of got really hot during COVID. One of the few Golden Age books that really heated up during COVID. And as a result, that was a big sale, a big sale, because soon after, even in July of this year, okay, this book had massively dropped. So in July of 2024, it dropped to $1,020. So the previous sale to this sale was $1,000. So a third. This was a brutal book. So this book actually has slightly recovered in this sale. So it is like a up and down one. Definitely got hurt by the movie not being well received, Shazam #2. But it is a very cool book. Mary Marvel is a very beloved character for the Golden Age, and it's good to see that this book is recovering. There are 188 of these on the census, and 168 of them are Universal Blue Labels. Number 6 on the list is Captain America Comics number 39. This is from Timely 1944. It's an Alex Schomburg cover, and it's a classic Alex Schomburg cover. You can spot Alex Schomburg's propaganda covers a mile away because he always makes the Japanese or Germans look like really goofy. In this case, it's the Japanese. He gives them these crazy teeth, gives them usually bad eyesight, like glasses and like the bottle glasses, and just really classic Alex Schomburg World War II propaganda cover. Even has a little bit of bondage with Bucky being tied up, or actually one of the workers being tied up on this one. Just a crazy cover. With lots of Japanese getting whacked on different directions. Yeah, Bucky's actually taking out 2 of the Japanese guys himself. So yeah, just really great cover. This was a 4.5 that sold, and it sold for $2,659. It's the only sale in this grade. It's hard to really compare it, but the only thing we have to compare it with that's a recent sale was a 3.5 that sold in April of this year for $1,440. So that would work out to a price per point, a value of being around $1,850. So at $2,600 is a good sale, like almost $800 over what you would expect. Actually, more than that. Yeah, $800. Yeah, $800 more than what you would expect it to sell for. So very strong sale. There are 77 of these on the census, and 59 of them are Universal Blue Labels. Number 5 on the list is Phantom Lady number 13, which is actually Phantom Lady number 1. Just that it's a little bit weird that the number system. It was actually a previous title to this. I think it was Cosmo Cat. And what would happen is a lot of the time in the Golden Age, they would maintain the title or change the title, but maintain the numbering system in order to not have to pay additional fees, I think taxes that they would have to pay for issuing out a new title and a new series. So this was just a title change from Cosmo Cat, totally different comic, but this is Phantom Lady number 1, really. So this is Fox 1947. It was a Matt Baker cover, so great cover. And it, as I said, it's the first issue of the series. This was a 3.0 that sold, and it sold for $2,830.01. Somebody at the last minute must have bid that extra 1 cent just to go over that that highest bid. So just a funny sale. The previous record for this book was set back in December of 2019 for $1,140. So this is up almost three times from that prior record. So very, very strong sale for this book. It is a very desired book. Phantom Lady is one of the few female heroines from the Golden Age that is very desired amongst collectors. So there are 77 of these on the census, and 64 of them are Universal Blue Labels. Number 4 on the list is All-Star Comics number 7. This is from DC Comics 1941. It's an E.E. Hibbert cover, and it is the first time you get Superman and Batman in a story together. Usually, there's previous covers like World's Fair 1940, which has them both on the cover, and this has them both on the cover too in little bubbles. But the point is, in that World's Fair story, they actually didn't team up and work together. And this they do. So this is the first time you get them in the same story, in working together, on the same panels, doing stuff together. So that's important. It also features a full page ad for Green Lantern number 1. So that's an extra bonus thing about this book. This was a 7.5 that sold, and it sold for $3,000. The previous record for this book was set back in June of 2016. So this is one that you don't see sell that often in high grades. At the time, that it sold for $2,250. So this is a reasonable sale. The book actually, if you compare it to a 7.0, which is a more recent sale that we have, 7.0 sold for $1,740 in September of 2023. So this is definitely a strong sale, well beyond what this book has sold for in the past. So very strong sale. There's 115 of these on the census, and 94 of them are Universal Blue Labels. Number 3 on the list is Silver Streak Comics number 15. This is a Leave Gleason cover, Leave Gleason comic from 1941. It's a Jack Binder cover. And it's a really cool cover. I always love this cover, actually. I think it's such a quirky, cool cover. It has a mummy kind of doing this weird, like, scary thing. It just looks really cool. Got a bit of Good Girl there. You got this spider with a skull on it. It's just really cool stuff going on. Got the sarcophagus with, like, the Egyptian style stuff. Really cool book. I like this one. It's one that I've actually tried to find a few times. I missed out on this one, but this one was a 4.0 that sold, and it sold for $2,469. This is the only sale in grade, so the only thing that we have to compare it with is a 6.0 that sold in June of 2020 for $3,465. Now, if you do the price per point math, that works out to being around $2,300. So this is well within what you would expect this book to sell for. So a reasonable sale for this book. There's only 26 of these on the census, and 21 of them are Universal Blue Labels. Number 2 on the list is Captain America Comics number 2. This is a huge book. This is Timely 1941. It is a Joe Simon cover. And this is the second appearance of Captain America, second appearance of Bucky. And it is the first time we see the round shield. Now, in Captain America number 1, Captain America had a triangle shield. However, there was a bit of issue there, because if you look at Archie comics, they have a character called the Shield. And the Shield has like a very similar triangle-shaped shield. So in order to prevent any potential lawsuits or any issues, they went with a round shield for Captain America. So just an important book. This is a classic Hitler cover as well. Just a lot of cool things. And this one definitely has Bucky in bondage. I misspoke before, but this one has Bucky in bondage. So a lot of fun stuff going on this one. This was a 0.5 that sold. And it sold for $7,000. Actually, $6,999.99, but I'll round it to $7,000. Now, it was a 0.5, as I said. It's missing the back cover. That's the reason it's a 0.5. And the back cover didn't have any story on it, so it's missing, it's incomplete, but not miss anything that affects story. So just a missing back cover. So you just got to find a back cover, plop it on, you're good. The interesting thing about this particular copy of this book, it's actually from the personal collection of Joe Simon as well. So that it actually has that extra, not pedigree, but extra little significance about it, that it is from Joe Simon's personal collection. This was a strong sale because the previous record for this book was set back in March of 2020 for $3,720. So almost double what it sold for 4 years ago. Very strong sale. And I think that from the personal collection of Joe Simon makes it a stronger sale. Also, this was a CBCS copy, which is another thing I should denote, because often CBCS copies will sell for slightly less than CGC. So again, it's about double what you would expect this book to sell for. Very strong sale. There are 114 of these on the census, and 70 of them are Universal Blue Labels. Number 1 on the list is Detective Comics number 122. This is from DC Comics 1947. It's a Bob Kane and Charles Paris cover. And it's the first time we see Catwoman on the cover. This is a huge book for Catwoman fans because this is where you get her on the cover. Really great book. Classic cover too, just with Catwoman doing her catty things. This was a 5.5 that sold, and it sold for $7,565. Now, it was actually sold in Canadian dollars. I guess it was a Canadian dealer that sold it. And it sold for $10,200. So I'm translating that into US dollars. So it's around 75, 68, depending on what the Canadian dollar is worth. Now, this is a very strong sale as well, because the previous record for this book was $4,920. And that sale was in November of 2022. So really strong sale. This book has been one that's been pretty strong for a while now, consistently going up. So there's 140 of these on the census, and 124 of them are Universal Blue Labels. So really great week for Golden Age. It's good to see like a strong week for a change. Like we were having a bit of soft weeks there for a while there. So it's good to see Golden Age comics are back, and maybe the market is coming back. So that's good sign. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you had you bought any of these comics? Do you have any of these in your collection? Tell me in the comments below. I always love hearing stories of fellow collectors. Bye for now.